Thank you for the invitation to be here today. I'm just so pleased to be here. And good morning to everyone, or in my case, here in South Bend, good afternoon to those that are on the Central East Coast. Um, like Father said, I'm the Assistant Director of Outreach at the University of Notre Dame, and I've been there for 5 years as a campus minister. In those 5 years, in actually the last 4 years, we've done some great, awesome outreach work in evangelization and also programming, small group programming with our international students, but even more specifically with our Chinese international students. They have been our students from different parts of the world that come to the university, as we well know, University of Notre Dame. But our Chinese students have been just so wonderful and wanting to really enter into the whole, idea of like, what is faith? They're at a Catholic university, well renowned, and so there's these questions that start coming up right while you're sitting in theology classes and things like that. And so in campus ministry, we've started working a great deal with our Chinese students inside of those questions and those thoughts. So for my short presentation today, I'd like to focus like really in 4 areas in regards to our work with our Chinese students, and that is the partnerships that we have found necessary for us at the university, the planning teams for programming and events, and then cultural expression and context. And then my final area would be prayer. So those are the 4 areas I would like to kind of concentrate on for today. First, the first part, partnerships. We have found that working not just insulated inside of campus ministry, but reaching out to different departments has been necessary in our work with our Chinese international students. And the first great partner is our Notre Dame International. And there's a great group of people there that we've partnered with to really be able to, first and foremost, really establish a community that is coming into university and who they are, those students, but also partnering with them inside of what would be the next part, which is the planning team. So 1 or 2 of them from their department enter into this planning team where we start looking at programs and events that could take place. Other great partners are the faculty and the staff that are there. We have great faculty and who have a wonderful interest in really meeting and sitting with students. And so we have a couple faculty and staff members that are also on the planning team with us. Another group is the graduate students on campus who are both either not necessarily international, but domestic Chinese students that have entered into the walk of the Catholic faith and have experience and desire even more formation. So as campus ministers, we provide that for them, but also inside of that formation as part of the leadership team to be able then to enter into the planning parts for our undergraduate students as well. So those 2 areas in regards to partnerships and the planning team, we have found really, really essential in being able to work in the outreach of our students. The third one is the cultural expression and context. In a lot of our programming, it's really truly understanding and entering into who our international students are, specifically our Chinese students, where they're coming from, what parts. Because as we well know, that not just because we have a group of Chinese students that they all come from with the same context in regards to either faith background or even cultural background. Just as a Latina woman, I understand that, you know, my context is from my Mexican heritage. And so other Latinos can be from, you know, Chile, from Peru, you know, so the same thing in regards to the context, in regards to cultural expression, where are they coming from? Um, is really important. And once we start planning and looking to see what we need to do. And then finally, prayer, really looking at what those expressions are, if there are any, and how can we sit and establish certain environment in prayer, you know, bilingual prayer is essential that we provide. Usually it's Mandarin and English in every setting that we provide. It's being able to have something in hand so that they're able to read along. And so we have found that in prayer, it's not just setting the environment in the sense of like um, candles and things like that, but the environment also including those materials that are necessary for all of us to enter into prayer together. And so that has been really important. I wanted to kind of go into specifics into some of the things that we do at the University of Notre Dame in regards to our outreach and the evangelization, and even some of the small groups that we've established on campus. So I'm going to share my screen, start to share my screen here, and just show you just a little bit of what we do. The one of the things in regards to evangelization that's really important in starting at that we started maybe about 4 years ago is really being part of the Notre Dame International Welcome Week with our undergrads and our graduate students. So we're part of that whole Welcome Week where specifically the university brings in all international students before any other students come onto campus. So it's usually like a week before all the other students come in. And so we have specific opportunity to be with those students as they enter campus and to talk to them and have one-on-one conversations, to them invite them to this event that I have this picture with you, which is what, like I said, one of the things is that students are on campus, they're on a Catholic campus, and they start asking these questions, who is this man Jesus that I'm hearing in my theology class? And so we've established this programming of Catholicism 101, where all international students with no faith background or non-Catholics are welcome to come and participate. But we have found that the majority of our students that attend are our Chinese students. And so what we do is we provide this really nice meal from a local Chinese family that owns a restaurant here, and they do authentic. So they, not from their menu, we go directly in regards to what, they would cook for their family at home. And so we provide a wonderful, good meal. We have priests, seminarians, and graduate students that sit at the table. And then we have, and I'm going to show you just an example here of just of one thing that we do is be able to provide for them like table conversation. So they have this little guide and these questions that they can open. This one's an example of our Christmas one that we do. We do a Christmas one as well, like the sights and sounds of Christmas, because the campus changes and they're seeing this. So what is this? So we also do a sights and sounds of Christmas, invite everyone back. We gather emails from the Welcome Week and invite them all back right around Advent before they leave campus. Then we also do a Lent Easter one to go into the conversation of what is Lent and what is Easter. So they've had a welcome, which is just a general of being at a Catholic campus. What is Catholicism? Who is Jesus? And then we go into more in the sights and sounds of Christmas and in Jesus and Mary and Joseph. And then, which is a PowerPoint here, I can just show you, visits of the Magi. And the one thing that we have found that from students themselves have said that Chinese Catholic art is really important in presentation for them. That we can use artwork that shows, like here, Mary and Joseph, that looks very Anglo-European. But what we have found and what they have said is that they truly appreciate when they see artwork that is expressive of who they are. And so Chinese Catholic artwork has been important. So this is part of our evangelization that we do, and then we enter into one-on-one conversations. Students ask questions after, and then the small groups. We both have small groups that welcome in our non-Catholic Chinese students on a monthly basis, but then we also have small groups for our Catholic Chinese students, which are specific, where we have Bible study, and it's a bilingual Bible study. We also have, we have a mass tomorrow that's in connection with Gonzaga University tomorrow, where we have our students are going, some of our students be able to join in on a retreat tomorrow with Gonzaga University in Mandarin. So things like that are what we provide for our students in both our non-Catholic and Catholic Chinese students on campus. So you think it's a lot to try to compact in just 10, 15 minutes, but I hope there's questions after that would be more specific. I would be happy to answer.